go. If we get more members, then that changes. This is the Airport Advisory Committee regular meeting of the City of Bisbee, Cochise County, State of Arizona, to be held on Monday, February 12th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. in the City of Bisbee Council Chambers, located at 915 South Towerville Road, Bisbee, Arizona 85603. And the meeting is called to order by myself, Matthew Gurney, at, we'll call it 5:34 p.m. Okay. I'm writing notes as we go along too, because I have to do that. All right, roll call. We have Dan Callahan.
Present.
Mark Gray is absent. Okay. We have Dina Harrington.
Here,
And it says on here also Chant.
previously Chant.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, just want to make sure.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and then Amparo,
Present.
and then Sherry Chase.
Also present.
All right. Juanita Hill, our city liaison, or city council liaison, is not here. Matthew Gurney, city liaison, that is me, I'm present. And at times we might have my operations manager, Logan Dodd, but he is not here. Alrighty. We have no call to the public, so we will skip through that. Okay, we have no old business since this is the first time that we're meeting. So we will get right into new business. Item number 1, introduction of all members. I guess I'll go first real quick, just get, my name is Matthew Gurney. I've been with the city for 13 years, a little over 13 years. I started as a garbage truck driver, and worked in the streets department, and then became the operations manager 5-6 years ago, can't remember. And then I became the public works director 2 years ago in November. So here we are. I have lived and maintained the airport that we currently are here. This Bisbee Municipal Airport I have maintained, and I know the airport pretty good, I would say so. So, do I know all the laws and everything? Probably not as much as Dan does. Probably not even close to what Dan knows, but anyways, so that's me.
I'm Dina Harrington. I live on Purdy Lane, the airport is my next door neighbor. And I'm just here to make a quorum and make sure that we can move forward with some things.
I'm Sherry Chase, and I am in Warren, over close to it's on Douglas Street. And I moved here in almost a year ago. Bought a house and love it here. The airport, I love to fly. I don't have a license, but I've flown a bit, love small planes, and so was drawn to the airport. Wanted to make sure it had a pulse. And by doing that, I figured might as well just join up here and see what I can do. I've introduced myself to a few people around the airport, haven't met you, Dan, yet, but I've been poking around a little bit and called the Cochise College and talked to Belinda just to see what kind of attendance she's got with the her classes there, her courses. And talked a bit with Cheryl and Eric with the instructors, just to get an idea of what, how busy it is here, just to see, and it sounds hopeful. It's a busy place, and I would just really like to see it regain some life, and I know that's a long haul, but I'd like to be part of it, so that's why I'm here.
I'm Dan Callahan. I've had mildly competent at various things. So, I'm actually a mining engineer. I've worked 45 years in the mining industry, actually more than that. And along the way, or before that even, I am a commercial instrument rated pilot, and spent a lot of time flying just about everything you can think of. I have an airplane and a glider. I live at the airport, 2271 South Arizona Street. I have 3 acres there. That's industrial zoned property, and got about 8 years of managing commercial airport, Ely, Nevada, and lots of time working with the FAA, lots of time working with, city councils, county commissioners, everything involved. We've, and a lot of time working with the engineers that take care of the master plan and working on the master plan and the timing of projects and all that. Here, shut up. Okay.
I'm Carl Horatio Gonzalez. I go by my middle name, Horatio. Native of Arizona, born and raised in Casa Grande, been living in downtown Phoenix up until 2 years ago when I came to Bisbee and decided that I wanted to stay. Purchased a place in Warren, 600 Oliver Circle. It's a little brown house with an accessory dwelling unit. Been there for almost 2 years now. I travel a lot for work extensively. I'm a former Army veteran, aviation, and got out in 2008, and I deploy still in support of branches in the military. I specialize in unmanned technology, and that's what I do, testing and test flying and evaluation. So I'm always traveling out of state, out of the country. I have a personal interest, obviously, in aviation. I have both career track and educational track. Systems engineer through Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and various licenses, A&P, IA, designated airworthiness representative, and flying licenses, flown a lot of different things, unmanned type technologies in both fixed wing and helicopters. Yeah, I just have an interest in, like you said, the pulse in the Bisbee Municipal Airport, and just make some positive changes, positive impacts to our community, and see what we can do.
Sounds good. It's good to meet you all. We have a wide variety of people, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
If that's everything, we'll move on to item number 2, which is discussion of possible recommendation on election of chair and vice chair. I know we just met each other, but we need to do that to be able to try and move forward. But yeah, and I'll open this up for discussion.
Maybe we should say what the chairperson does. I mean, you're doing that right now.
Yeah.
But these guys might not. I know what these positions are.
Just define the roles and responsibilities of each
Yeah.
position would be.
So the chair pretty much runs the meeting, kind of what I'm doing here. And vice chair, if the chair's gone, or if the chair, like in some of my other meetings, one lady, she was having a hard time talking, so people, the vice chair would step in and take over. I haven't really had any other, run-ins where the chair did much else besides, they, you know, definitely, everybody has the opportunity to put in for, items for the meetings. But, and the chair, it's responsibility of the chair to make sure we get, you know, items for whatever we aren't wanting to talk about. So, that's pretty much rough. Unless you wanna add anything else, Dan?
No, this, every once in a while you'll get public people that kind of run on, and you, somebody has to be timekeeper on top of all that.
Yeah.
You really gotta be fair, but
Would that be the chairperson or vice chair, because?
That'd be the chair,
Chair,
yeah.
okay.
We really, I mean, and, if you haven't read some of the, open meeting laws, definitely wanna do that. All that information should be on our website, if you haven't already. So, there's certain rules on how an open meeting, public meeting runs. So the chair would definitely wanna make sure they're familiar with that and know the rules, and the vice chair, for running a meeting, so.
and there are rules, the city does have written formalized rules and regs for the airport, and at times people seem to think they're hard to get a hold of, so I'll make sure that everybody gets them, because
Yeah, and
I definitely have them.
we'll talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
somewhat, but,
A question regarding, how the because I see on here that there's a discussion for Zoom meetings to accommodate for future schedules. I know we're kind of jumping ahead, but if you're a chair or vice chair, and can that be conducted if it is opted in, through this option?
we can't,
We're in the wrong spot to have this discussion.
Yeah.
All right, go,
Just,
Yeah.
just wait,
yeah,
Disregard.
yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
can't answer that without
yeah.
having that other discussion.
gotcha.
So, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, is that person would run the meeting and make sure it's run accordingly, making sure people have their say, but that someone's not taking over a meeting, pretty much, so. And
Tonight-
someone
Tonight,
that,
we're not pressed in that manner, but it can
Yeah.
happen.
yeah, it can happen, and it's, you know, it's also someone that, you know, that knows, you know, knows what's going on and, you know, really, you know, has a bearing on what, on the airport.
Okay, so, I happen to know Mark Gray. He's a private pilot, has an airplane, he's down there with, Cheryl and them. And he has a business in town, they've been in town, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. He's, you know, open-minded kind of guy, and I'm surprised that he didn't make it, but just so you understand a little bit about him,
Yeah,
he has airport background. He lived at an airport in California before he came here. He's pretty up to date.
yeah, Mark is a really great guy.
Yeah.
I know him myself, I've worked with him
Yeah.
on different
Too
projects.
bad he couldn't make it,
Yeah. Well, there's some, because he's usually pretty punctual.
yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Well, let's vote him in, since he didn't make it.
Yeah, he'll be the holder of the key to the door.
By the way, surprise.
I mean, if you vote on someone, they can deny that, but yeah, if that's something that you want, that someone can make a motion.
Alright, so motioning Mark to be a chair.
someone
might not be
that
here.
wanted to be chair? Did you wanna do that? Because you've got all the experience there.
I will, if people like, that would be okay with me.
So, let's put Mark in as chair and him as vice, and if Mark denies, then we could pop him in.
Alright, so Amparo,
It's
or,
Mike.
what, sorry,
It's Mike.
what do you like to go by?
I go by Horatio.
Horatio, votes to have Mark Gray as chair, so, everybody, that agrees, say aye.
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 Nay?
Hey,
Any nays?
Just
Okay.
that it was a joke that I said that he could do it, but, but he can say no,
Yes, he can,
okay?
but all agrees, okay. And do we have a motion, for vice chair?
Dan?
Who wants to make that motion?
somebody has to say other than me.
I would like to, I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I second.
alright. And I'm sorry, who seconded for Mark,
I
to
did.
have Mark?
Did anyone second?
I think
I
Sherry
did that,
did,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know if that's very nice, is that very nice to do?
I think Mark, he,
You'll take it as a joke?
yeah,
Okay,
he'll just say, okay.
Should have been there.
yeah?
So. Alright. Everybody in agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Hey,
Sounds
Do we
good.
have discussions of why the yays and why the nays? Or is it
That's,
just the
that's
nay?
just it's just either you're a nay or a not.
yes or no?
Yep, yes or no, so, not both. So. Alright, so, if we're good, we'll move on to, item number 3, which is to provide, city code to members, which is what I'll have at this moment. And this is, concerning the airport airport advisory, commission. So, give you some background, kinda what Dan was talking about.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I don't know if you wanna scan over that now, or if we wanna, we're good to move on, whatever you wanna do. You wanna take the time now,
Let's look over it now since we don't have much
or, okay,
that's going on.
okay.
Is there a template for the bylaws to be established?
There are bylaws,
Okay.
and those are on the city website. Yeah, scan through and ask any questions. I'll try to answer
Let me say one thing, I'm not, right, at this point, I don't know if it's right to make a comment, but so let me,
Go ahead.
this is an advisory board, okay? The city is asking for ideas and
Question?
kind of, you know, throw it up in the air and let's kind of work this out, all right?
Is this directed at me?
Yeah, you,
Okay.
huh?
Directed at me?
No,
I'm, oh,
I'm
no,
just,
okay.
I'll look at the clock.
I'm just
So-
asking.
This is advisory, so at some point, you're gonna have an idea, you in general, the whole world, all around us, me included, that you're really focused on this idea and you really wanna push it, or something comes along from outside and you really grab onto it, and the city can simply say, thank you. Done. Okay, so don't get offended and don't get stuck to things, because it might not work and you might not get a thorough enough explanation. A lot of things that get hung up on come to do with matching funds and things that fall in the order of the master plan. And some things just, you think they should work, but they won't, or they don't, or whatever. And you can't hold a grudge, you can't hold, you know, you don't, it's advisory. It means exactly that, advisory. I've seen a lot of problems on that one.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dan, because I agree with what you're trying to say. It's an opportunity to observe, ask the right questions, take in the knowledge, and yeah, if you have ideas, you can express your idea, but then it's time to, you know, it may happen, it may not, or something might just spin off of that.
Detached.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look, for those that haven't been on a committee like this, if you look at letter B, it really talks and shows what the commission can advise on roughly. And it says, and I'll just read, the Airport Advisory Commission through the liaison shall with assistance of the city staff, advise the city council as necessary on, and then it goes 1 through 10. So, and, the Airport Advisory Commission, I'm at C now, shall report to the city council as necessary, but not less than once a year on activities of the airport, which, yeah. Airport Advisory Commission shall perform such other duties as are imposed on the Airport Advisory Commission by this chapter. The city council shall have the right and prerogative to initiate review of any decision of the Airport Advisory Commission and may uphold, modify, or overrule said decisions. And such as myself and the city manager.
Well, that said, it behooves you to do your homework then, before you present something, or even to come to council, to our commission, to make sure you know what you're talking about and understand the topic before we waste everyone's time, or fully develop it before we even get it here.
Yeah, topic may mature or immature.
Yeah, I mean, the transportation committee spends a lot of time doing research and surveys and things like that. That may not necessarily apply to us specifically like they do it, but they've been doing a lot of things like that. It seemed to make a difference in them being able to make progress.
if there's anything else before we move on to item 4? Okay. Item 4, discussion on more timely notices to board members. I don't know who put this in, but when you get your notice from Lorena, my admin assistant, about items, that is your final notice. You have the whole time between this meeting and the next meeting to put in thoughts or any items that you want to be on the committee, to be shared for the next meeting. That is just, hey, and it's more for attendance than anything, and then, hey, if you have any last minute ideas for the committee, please share them. So that's what that is about. That's your responsibility throughout between meetings to, if you have something, to bring it to Lorena and send it in through email to her.
And email sufficient?
Yes, absolutely. Email is the best, the easiest, so. And then if we don't, so like she usually will send out emails to everybody like she did. If she doesn't get replies, then I have her trying to start getting calls. We don't want to show up here and then only like 2 of us show up and then we just wasted, half hour or whatnot, and we didn't really need to when those people weren't going to be coming anyways. So we try and make sure we don't waste anybody's time, ourselves, whatever. So that's what that's all about. Any questions or?
No, the nicest thing to do is when Lorena sends it out, at least reply that says you got it.
And that, yes, you are not coming.
Yeah, yes, you're coming, cause
Yeah.
it, lots of times I've sat around at the door and no one, 3 of us had shown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, you probably, all of us probably ought to consider when Lorena sends us an email, we're obliged to reply.
Simple etiquette, I would think.
You would think.
Yeah,
It's too easy. I'm attending. I plan to attend.
yeah, got it. Click.
Yeah, as a staff liaison, I spent a lot of hours waiting.
Yeah,
And just
no, it's
have it
really
go.
frustrating.
So, and I understand some people, might not see an email or whatnot. But if you know you're not coming, just, let her know. So, any other thoughts or comments on that?
I just think that it's improved since, I forget how long ago it was, but there was a time when I would get a call and it would be like, in 2 days there's a meeting, and I would scramble to try to figure out how to get here. And since then, Lorena's been giving, like, she sent us the whole year, which is fantastic, because now I can put it on my schedule, on my calendar, and it's blocked out, and I don't have to worry about, oh no, I've scheduled something big, something that I need to do, and it's already on my calendar, it's blocked out. So I appreciate that, the effort that she's made to get that out to us.
Yeah, that is how it's supposed to be. That's-
Well, things happen,
Yeah,
and you
at
can't
the
always
beginning of the
plan.
year, that's what we,
Mhm.
try and do.
And she's very responsive, so I do appreciate that.
Alright, so I'm just. Alright, sorry. Anything else for number 5? Number 4. Alright, we're we go to discussion number 5. Discussion on possibilities for more accessible meetings and Zoom meetings to accommodate more schedules. You want the easy answer or the hard, or the deep, long answer?
I'm the one that proposed this, so I'm pretty sure I already know the easy answer, but I'll take it.
I don't have a long answer anyway, so the answer is, no.
Council.
City manager and the mayor have both said for commissions, there's not, unless it's, you have to go back east because you have a sick loved one or something like that, where it's, if you're going on vacation, that's not something that we would have a Zoom for. It's a special occasion where there's no other way, and you're not choosing to do it, you're away because of situation.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I assume then that's going to have to be something that someone would have to present to council to, if we wanted to
No,
petition. No, I'm not saying as the group, as individuals would have to request that.
No, so if you are, you're gonna be gone because you have a death in the family or someone's sick, and you just let us know that, and we can make that
Make
accommodation.
accommodations at that time.
Yeah.
So there are accommodations
It's-
available if there's something.
If it's called for,
Okay.
yes. If there's not gonna be enough members to make the meeting, and that's the only way, and it's not just you're off gallivanting around and whatnot, then yeah, there's a possibility.
Right. That was my concern is
It doesn't
because
happen, I've never had it happen, but,
I believe the last meeting was canceled because there wasn't a quorum.
Yeah.
And that was my concern, is so that we can continue to have meetings and be productive.
yeah.
And we do have folks that would like to participate that have work schedules or are caregivers or transportation issues, because there is no transportation out here after a certain time.
Mhm.
That-
Or a pandemic.
Or a pandemic, yeah, things like that. Well, they did do everything
Yeah,
via Zoom.
during the pandemic, we did,
Right,
and we opened it up, but once that kind of went down, they stopped off everything, so.
so on a case-by-case basis, present it.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
In my instance where I travel overseas for work, would that be something to
Yes,
bring up to you guys? Okay, I'm currently in Iraq, but I can support,
yes,
Zoom meeting or
yes,
whatnot,
that would be sufficient.
or
Yeah, because that is something completely different, that we could, work with.
Okay, so how do I send that out? Do I just send?
You just let Lorena know,
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. and then, they'll figure it out. Nina Williams, which is the deputy city clerk, she's over all commissions, as far as giving guidance and whatnot, so she'd be the one to set up the Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever, so, but yeah, Lorena is your main point of contact for that type of stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion or thoughts on item number 5? Alrighty, any comments by members?
So, this is the first time at this meeting for everyone except for 2 of us. And normally, there could be somebody that's gonna be involved to the call of the public part, and then the report of the public works director, sorry, man. And that could include or have another report from whoever's the acting airport manager that tells us about if there was repairs or we've sold some fuel or normal operating things. That's the one thing that's not clear on this paper right here. Okay, so there will be in a regular process of the meeting, there'll be some sort of mention that we did this kind of business, or a contractor came and worked on the rotating beacon or something.
That would
Yeah,
be- that
we
would
can have
be
an
nice.
update from the,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
from
about the
the,
budget?
what is his property manager,
right,
is who you're talking about.
yeah.
Right, okay,
Right.
yes,
And then the way you just mentioned is in his department. Okay, and then if there are some big pressing questions about budget and that sort of stuff, make sure it's said to Lorena, so it comes up as a discussion. This meeting is a little bit looser than normal, and then, because we're
It's our
doing a
first
lot
one.
of talking offhand, okay? And it's normally a little more structured than what we're doing tonight.
yes. All right, anybody else? And we can also, we'll do comments, and it's not on here,
Yeah,
but, and then we'll do, future agenda items as well. So I don't know why it's not on here, but
yeah.
any other comments, from?
I have a question. And again, this is because I'm new, I'm still learning. There was a big discussion with something that was required for the FAA, and it was for funding. There was a huge meeting, and I'm sorry, I don't have the exact details because I'm not really familiar with the terminology, but it was regarding, I believe, gates or access, which was going to allow FAA funding. This was back maybe sometime last spring. Is anyone familiar with that?
We can't, this is not a discussion, this is just comment.
Okay. So I'll reserve a time to ask for that then. Later, I'll ask about that.
Yeah, that can be done in a leisurely time after the meeting,
Okay.
or it can be in a future agenda item.
I'll ask after and then find a way to pose it appropriately.
Read and understand the open meeting laws, everyone.
Yeah, so,
Because it gets really complicated in a hurry. And
Yeah.
we can get in trouble.
so when it says comments, it's comments only.
Comments on,
Where if there's an agenda item and it says discussion, there can be an open discussion. If it just says discussion and somebody's wanting to, make a movement on it and everybody vote on it, can't do that unless it says it in there, in the agenda item. So if it didn't say, for item number 2, if it didn't say impossible recommendation, we could only discuss an election of a chair and vice chair. We couldn't actually move on that and vote on that.
So
So
at which
it's
point you
very-
go to the next meeting.
Yeah.
If you really wanted it, it would be
Yeah.
on the next meeting.
understood.
So, and I'm commenting back just for future knowledge. Usually we would not be having a discussion like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, normally this doesn't happen.
Any other comments? Okay, so I'm gonna make a mark down here. Alright, I'll start from, left to right, I guess, for future agenda items. You have any future agenda items at this point? If not, that's fine, but just anything that you want us to put down.
Yeah, maybe discuss or bring up conditions of the airport that might need to be improved upon, or surfaces, lights, whatnot. Take note of maintenance conditions, I guess.
So discuss conditions of the airport that might need to be, I didn't get the rest.
Yeah, if they're up to code or whatnot, like if surfaces need, if there's potholes along the taxiways or whatnot, they might,
Yeah,
what's
so-
the condition of the airport?
conditions there for that might need to be fixed.
Yeah, it might need to
Okay.
be repaired, fixed.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Dan?
Not at this time.
Sherry?
Along the same line of Horatio and not knowing the exact protocol here, but it would be nice to discuss and just kind of get updated as to where the airport is at, where the budget is, what's needed, as Horatio mentioned, but, and I don't even know if this is something that an advisory committee needs to talk about, but to come up with ideas and advice, the more information we have,
Okay.
the better we can determine what kind of, what to discuss.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that's what, read through this, the city code over airport advisory,
Okay.
so you know what we can discuss.
Okay,
If it's outside the purview of the committee, we can't discuss it.
got it.
And I'll pull it out of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah.
agenda.
Okay.
But yeah. Wait, okay, I have that. Anything else?
No.
Okay. And you guys can, again, send emails to Lorena if you think of things that you want added to the agenda,
Okay.
future agenda items. All right, Lita?
Again, phrasing is going to be, I'll probably have to rephrase it to make it appropriate to submit, but my background is public safety. And so that's one of my main concerns, and I'd like to just get a report, an update or something on what the safety protocols are there, where there need for improvement or change.
So discussion on safety protocol.
And if there are any, I guess that would fall into what Horatio and Sherry were saying too, and just in terms of what are their needs, like things like lights and things like that are,
Okay.
obviously essential for safety, but beyond that, how do they work with the fire department? I'm sure there's something that they have to have set up already, but I'm just like to know how that works.
Okay,
I'm sorry?
all right. Anything else?
No, that's it, thank you.
All right.
And we can submit before the next meeting, and it's on.
Yep. Yep. So our next meeting is May 13th, 2024. And then, unless, otherwise, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Second, all right. All right, we are adjourned.
6:16.